folks, Jeff Little here with Torqeedo Electric Outboards. We're at the RedCrest event in Charlotte, North Carolina. What I have right here is my Bonafide RVR 119. I'm going to take you bow to stern through the full rigging that I've done with this. We'll start with the navigation lights. I have navigation lights. I also have USB ports here and in, I think, 4 other places in there. It's all connected to this Dakota lithium battery. It's right here. I actually keep the charger there with it, so when I take it out and wherever I am, I have that charger with me. But it's connected to an FPV power system. I can click things on and off with that. It's also connected to, I do have the forward-facing sonar in the Lowrance active target. This is a transducer mount for that that's removable. So if I'm doing aggressive whitewater paddling, that's not in the way. But I put that on so when I'm fishing lakes that I have that forward-facing sonar of the HDS-7, Lowrance HDS-7. So that's also hooked up to, there's a transducer in here. I actually took the bottom of the Bonafide pod out, and this is a closed cell foam block that the transducer is attached to. That's so if I hit something with the transducer, it just slides up in there, minimizing damage to the transducer. So coming back, we have the foot control steering for the Torqeedo. So I do lots of installation videos to show how to set up the Torqeedo with the foot control steering. My YouTube channel is The Little Stuff. I'm Jeff Little. It's the little stuff that makes the difference between fishing and catching. It's also the little details of how you rig a kayak. And the motor lift, one little detail that I've done is I use Harken pulleys here at the front and at the back. That makes the motor lift very easy. So the Torqeedo is powered with this 915 watt-hour battery. It only weighs 13.2 pounds. It's got a GPS module in there that communicates with this data cable to the throttle that's right here. It tells you your speed over land, but it also helps calculate your remaining runtime at whatever throttle setting that you're at. The longest day I've had with the Torqeedo, I covered 41.8 miles trolling for striped bass on the Chesapeake Bay. That was a slow burn. I was going about 2.8 miles per hour, just trolling 2 Yozuri crystal flash minnows. We caught striper the whole way, but we kept going. So at that lower setting, you get crazy range. We were out there for 15 hours, continual use of the Torqeedo. The flip side of that, this boat can get up to 6.4 miles per hour at full throttle, and if you dump all the energy out, it's going to last about 53 minutes. So you can use up that energy at full throttle. It uses up pretty quick, or you slow it down to like 2.8 miles per hour, you do over 40 miles. Somewhere in between, you have that sweet spot of say 5 mile an hour, and you can probably do 16 or 17 miles. Certainly that's a lot of range for a day of fishing. So as we're moving back, we have I got my cup holder. Got a lot of Yak Attack accessories here. I have the T-Rain retractable retractors, one for the pliers and one for the braid scissors. I have the button lights that flood this area with light, but I also use the T-Rain to kind of cover it up so that the red light isn't hitting me in the eyeballs, kind of blinding me. The Torqeedo throttle is here. I also have behind the Torqeedo throttle, this is an anchor wizard. There's one for the back, and there's also one on this side for the front. This allows me to position in all sorts of different positions so I can make the right presentation to catch the fish. Got another cup holder here, got another USB port here. That controls, that gives power to the GoPro that's here. I can move this from spot to spot to spot, getting different camera angles while I'm fishing my episodes. What else we got? We come back, we have the Boondocks landing gear. This allows me to just lower the wheels and roll this whole rig right into the water. Makes it a really, just a really nice way to access water. If it's in really rough terrain, I actually have the Road Fishing Company drag strap. I do a lot of what I say creative access points, very informal places where I like to drag it up and over really steep embankments, and this Rogue Fishing Company drag strap allows me to do that. I used this the other day. I was fishing the Holston River, and I used the motor to go up through some Class 1 rapids. Then I got to a Class 2 that I couldn't quite get up through with the motor. I pulled to the side, I pulled this out, and I dragged it up over these ledge rocks. This is a really useful tool for sure. Let's keep moving back in the boat. I use this tackle box. This is by Lakewood. It's a company out of Wisconsin that makes, why don't you come around this side so you can see, makes these style tackle boxes. This is called the Sidekick Mini, and it's got places for all my jerk baits, my crank baits. I got a lineup of jackhammers right there. It's just a good way to keep all your spinner baits and all that stuff organized. I do have a couple of I think these 3600 size with all my terminal tackle. I make a lot of my own tackle. Like that's a jig head I made with a do-it mold. These are punch weights that I tied the skirt on. I made these underspins. I made those blade baits. This is a plug knocker. I've saved so many different baits by clipping that onto the line and sending it down, and it rams into it and gets my snag lure unstuck. I do a lot of jig fishing, so this entire box here is, and we're coming out of winter, so a whole lot of hair jigs. I tie with round rubber, bucktail, and then a little bit of silicone. So my YouTube channel, I got a lot of, I actually have a playlist on tackle crafting, how to make your own stuff. So if you're interested in doing that, learn how to tie your own hair jigs. Keep all my leader, because I use braid to fluoro here organized in, let's see, 20, 15, 12, and 10. And that's just on this eye bolt that's run through all the spools, and just put a nut on the end, keeps it organized. Got this other Lakewood box for all the soft plastics. So probably my favorite soft plastic is the Z-Man bat wings. I use that as a trailer, but I actually used it recently on a punch rig. The last video I put up fishing the Holston River, I had that on a punch weight, and really just smashed a bunch of really nice smallmouth. I think I had about 8 of them over 18 inches. And that was 3 days ago. Had another trip on the new river with my buddy Jameson, who's with Jackson Kayak. We got out there and had a similarly good day. Throwing the jackhammer with, at the shoreline eddies, and bringing that Z-Man jackhammer out, and it was, noisy with that, rattling against the head, and then I'd get right to the current seam and let it drop. So the bat wings, Z-Man bat wings, gave it a very slow rate of fall, and usually right before it touched down the bottom, those big smallmouth would jam it and eat it, and I'd catch them. Got the anchor off the back. A couple of the different hacks for the torpedo that I have. For sure, you need the rock guard. This is made by Innovative Sportsman. It just makes your propeller last longer. It is a very durable prop, but as much as I fish rocky rivers, it's good to have that protection. It's also, the Innovative Sportsman rock guard has this grass cutter, so that the propeller blade comes up and cuts the vegetation off. I got a Harken pulley that makes it easier to lift it, and I put these bungees across the back so that when I lower it, it has sort of a built-in reverse lock. So these bungees, just when it goes into reverse, fights it in coming back. If I wanted a really hard reverse lock, it has this mechanism here, which I have the cord forward that it locks it into place, and then it can't jump up. And then the propeller moving in reverse really moves the boat backwards. So if you wanted to see individually any of the installs for this, I did a 16-part rigging playlist. It's called the RVR Build, and that's on the Little Stuff YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.